Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Ult In Ten, and today with me I have Xmithie from MTW, which is formerly known as Goose. Why don't you introduce yourself and say hi real quick?
Hey, what's up? This is Xmithie, the jungler for MTW.NA, and I'm playing Ribbon for this game.
Yep, this is a solo queue game, and I believe you actually do go in for a gank here, and I kind of want you to talk about Riven real quick in terms of early ganking and what you actually are doing right here. Like, what's your mindset and going about this?
I was usually gonna gank top because I know that uh, Gragas usually just stays in the back and just queues, but instead he tries to melee some of the melee creeps. So that's why I went ganking top, and then I see Shyvana here, and like he's so far away from his team, so fully committed, and I think we get a kill here, and he gets blue buff, so that's really good for us.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised to see that Shyvana was still in the jungle there when your presence was just known in middle. It's kind
Yeah.
of kind of weird. And okay, so since we did that real quick, I wanted to do that before we talked about you. How did you get into gaming and League in particular?
Before when I was a kid, I was just playing. My first game or my first console was PlayStation 1, and then a little bit of Game Boy, I think, just playing Pokemon and stuff. But at like at the age of 10, I started playing computer games and playing Counter-Strike most of the time. And then I switched to StarCraft for a bit, but I wasn't really good at it, so and then Dota came up, and then I played that for like a good 4 years when I was still in the Philippines back then.
Okay, and I actually feel really old because my first console was like the regular Nintendo, so I'm like, oh god,
Uh,
I feel like a geezer. Okay, well, tell us a little bit about why you decided jungle. Like, what got you into jungling for MTW?
at the first ones, I went for I really wanted to AD. Well, at the beginning of Goose, I tried to apply for AD, and I was just playing Caitlyn every day by then. And then I switched to Vayne with Lemon God as support. And we tried, hey, why not we try kill bot lane with Leona Jarvan, Lee Sin Yorick, Jarvan Karma and stuff. Like it was really good until Lemon decided that he can't play anymore because his parents won't let him.
Okay, and then
That was the time as Kiev.
you kind of just transitioned to Goose's jungler from there.
Me and Kartoki tried for AD support, but Alano had more experience with Kartoki, so he said heal AD, and I went as jungle.
Yeah, I know one thing about MTW is you guys trade, well, at least Atlanta trades a lot of positions. I mean, he's AP middle one day, he's jungler, actually, I don't think he's been jungler, support the next day, AD the next day. It's kind of hard to keep track. Can you kind of talk about what your mindset is in the jungle in terms of, like, hey, when to farm, when to gank, and I guess specifically for Riven in this game?
Most of the time I get like level 2 ganks mostly, and I start red, and then I try to gank either wherever is close and who's trying to CS like really and like being really aggressive. So it depends on who and what champions are they using.
And actually, there's a community question I'm going to just get up right off the bat is, what's your top three favorite junglers?
Uh, right now it's Lee Sin, mm, Nautilus, and Riven.
And okay, and Ruben, yeah, I've definitely seen a lot of Nautiluses lately, and it's kind of really scary. It's like one of the most CC heavy junglers in the game at the moment. And we see that you actually went a Dorn's Blade off the bat, or not off the bat, sorry, actually as your first buy. Can you kind of explain why you end up not going Wriggles and going, a Dorn's Blade build?
Uh, from the start, I never went Wriggles ever on Riven just because it's 1600 gold that you're pouring out there, and like you don't really have a lot of gold to uh use that item because it only, let me see, I forgot how much damage. It only does 23 damage, and then like double Dorans give like 20, so yeah. And then I saw Riven there, and I pinged my mid to come. So like that's like an easy kill again because like he's overextended, and it's a Shyvana. He doesn't really have any escapes. And
Yeah.
that's why like it's really good to buy wards for your team too. Like to see counter jungle and like to prevent your mid from getting killed. Because most of the in solo queue, like most mids only buy one ward and it's only one side. So I usually buy one ward for the other side. And I see it 7 minutes and then I tried to get it since their jungler just died.
Yeah, that's actually something that's really kind of important is, controlling the enemy buff. And I remember, casting some of your games, and you do exceptionally well at that. Can you kind of go over the importance of that, just for the, for everyone to kind of hear, why that is such a big deal in solo queue and in team games?
Well, stealing blue buff from a enemy team is really good if the mid is like blue dependent. Gragas isn't like he can live without blue, but like a Nivea, um, other team like Rise, like he needs blue buff to like dominate the other mid lane.
And does
Which is
blue have a higher priority over red to you when trying to counter jungle?
it depends on what champion they have too. Like if Shyvana relies on red buff before level 6, because like he can't gank at all unless he has exhaust and the other guy does all the damage for him.
All right, now we're back, and it's kind of the late, more, it's not late game, sorry, mid game here, and I kind of want to go touch on the early game just a little bit more, because this is always really important. What runes and masteries are you running on Riven for this game?
I go usually hybrid for Riven. I do like 9 point. Let me check on my runes here. It's 9. It's actually 11 AD. Oh, it's 8.6 physical damage. 12 armor pen and armor seals, and the magic resistance is either per level or just flat out magic resist.
Okay, and what about your masteries? Do you run 21-9 or 21-09?
Yeah, I go 2190 and I get the health. I usually get the health just for like, cause I'm a gank jungler, so I usually need like some health to deal with it.
And it definitely helps with diving on towers, correct?
Yep.
And what skills do you actually level up? Like, what's the order? Does it depend
Uh,
on, what the game is? Like, the opponents, if they're getting fed, if they're not getting fed, or what?
I always max Q now. Before I started W and I tried it, but it's good uh in ganking, but I usually gank top lane and then I usually do like the Q. I usually max Q because of the top lane. Because you can hit like 2 of your Qs and then your W. So it's more damage.
Right. And, okay, I want to touch on this real quick, is your early game goals compared to your mid game goals. What differentiates them?
Uh, like I as Riven, I usually not don't look for dragons. I usually just look for ganks and try to snowball my top or mid lane. I gank bottom lane if I know if it's like a kill lane, like Leona. Blitzcrank usually gets boots and a ward, so it's only one ward. So it's either the Tribush or the Dragon ward. So I usually ask my support or AD or where they warded so I could gank easily.
And what if you actually, like, fall behind? Like, I know a lot of people have this problem is, hey, I'm trying to gank top lane, I can't get a kill off, I'm wasting a lot of time. What did you do if you can't just get any successful ganks off?
It's usually just uh most people don't ward if the top lane. Mostly the people ward the double bushes there. I usually just if it's everything's warded, I just stay there and wait for the other guy to get aggressive, and we can get an easy kill or just farm the jungle.
Okay, yeah, farm and jungle, and I'm assuming you never go GP5 on, or sorry, GP10 on a Riven,
Oh,
but I'm
I
assuming
never
on a
go.
Nautilus.
No, it's the GP5 is kind of maybe the crit one. I forgot what's it called, but I can
The
use
average
that
play.
one. Yeah, the average blade I can, but I never get it.
And can you kind of
I,
explain what you're doing right here real quick? Because you
oh,
actually pulled them off Baron, and I wanted to know, like, your mindset and what you were actually thinking during this whole thing.
I usually just bait. I wanted to bait them away out of dragon because like we were missing one, and then I could have went back there, but I didn't know that Lulu's ult was up. But we could have killed everyone.
Right, and then you definitely could have taken that Baron. And I kind of want to go on this real quick. Is what are your personal goals for League of Legends? Like, where do you see
Uh,
yourself going?
well, everyone wants like wanted to play like professionally, so like we were trying to get there, and like we just need practice and like because most of the team around like mostly like started like a fresh new team because like all of the shuffling. It's mostly we're trying to just get there at the top.
And can you kind of explain what MTBW's been doing lately? Because I know you guys have had some roster changes. Well, quite a bit of roster changes, and also a lot of role swapping. Is there a reason for that, or is it just how flexible you guys are as a team?
Well, we got Zuna as our top lane or our support the first one, and then when after like a few days, like he said he can't support anymore, and then he wanted to top lane because he was top lane before. I think at Gosu, yeah, and he wanted to top lane, and Ball said, yeah, sure. So we did that for a while, but until I forgot what I think it was after Fortnite in NSL Pro Series. Like I think we kind of lost that one, and then Balls got tired of support too. So like we mostly our team doesn't want to support. Like no one wants to support because like yeah, like Boss's playstyle is like really aggressive, and Zuna like he didn't want to support. Period. So we decided to just let balls go top again and find another support. And that was a good time since V8 wasn't up anymore. So we tried to get Muffin to get a support, and it was right now it's doing pretty well.
Yeah, it seems like you guys actually just won today against Legion for NSL Pro Series. Even
Yeah.
though this video is going to be, I guess, awkwardly put in there. People are watching it weeks from now. But where do you guys actually see yourself? Are you guys going to be going to MLG this year?
Yeah, we're going to MLG, and then a week after that we're going to GSL in Pomona. So we got like a big month next week. Or I mean next month.
That's good. I know you guys have just had some problems lately. Was it at Hanover that you guys were eligible, but you just couldn't go for financial reasons?
It was Kia.
That
We
was
had the
chaos.
money, but we know that Mancow couldn't play. But at like the first week of January, Lemon said that he couldn't come because his parents won't let him.
Yeah, that was very unfortunate, but it's good to hear you guys are actually starting to, participate in some more tournaments and get your name out there. And can you kind of go over a little bit just what do you do in mid game as a jungler? Like, it's you can't really gank lanes anymore since you're starting to group up. Do you just kind of try to, I mean, because you're not even building that tanky to be honest on Riven here. You're kind of still building like a standard top lane build. Can you kind of like go over what, at least for Riven, like what you try to do in mid game?
Before when when we were still Goose, we made a rule that you should never go tank as Ribbon unless like you're like really fed. Cause like Ribbon does no damage. If you go tank, cause like you need all the damage you can. Like a burst, he's like a burst caster. Just get close, flash and W, and then use your Q, and then use your ult, and then that's your use for the whole team fight.
You pretty much just burst, you use all your junk at
Yeah,
once and
it's
see
like
what
a
happens.
burst caster,
It's
AD
like
caster.
AD Viger pretty much.
Yeah.
Can you kind of help out some people that in solo queue that play junglers, like kind of main junglers? Like, can you give them any advice to actually like win games or take controller games and go up in yellow?
And mostly you know where your jungler starts, and if you either look at his, if you have a chance, you can look at his items. Cause like if it's like a Riven that goes Doran's Blade, most of the time he'll do like a level 2 all in. Like he'll gank somewhere. Like most all ins are like, oh, and if you don't get a kill or you counter gank him and he's done for the game. Most of the time.
And what mechanical things can you help some junglers learn? Like, what's some mechanical things that you should really focus on as a jungler when you're trying to rise up in the ranks?
It's mostly just to use your as Ribbon, use all your passive stacks like wisely and just like use Q and then auto attack Q again and then auto attack then W then Q again. That will use all your passive stacks for your and you can farm really well in the jungle with that too.
Oh, sorry. I mean, actually, like in general as a jungler, like what kind of mechanical
Oh,
stuff But no, it's good to hear Riven too. Sorry.
Uh, well, as the jungler, you need to know where the other team starts to, so that you can try to counter gank him, or either if you start at blue side, and then you see him level 2 gank at red, I mean level 2 gank at the bot lane, you need to do something at the top lane for his red, so that it will make it even. So for example, like you go after blue, you go to his red when you see him bot lane, because it's gonna take a while for him to go top, so you can counter jungle him while he's trying to gank bottom.
All right, now we're back in towards the late game here, and you guys are actually taking this inhibitor. And I want to talk a little bit about on your late game goals, in terms of Baron control, Dragon control, and pushing towers.
About late game, it's all about wards, about the vision, where you at. Cause like if your support doesn't buy any awards, or you don't have oracles, like you guys can just, if they have like a full on engaged team, you guys can just easily get aced because of lack of vision. That's why as either a support, or if you have room in your inventory, you need to buy wards. It's worth it to buy than just a ruby crystal or anything.
Right. What about baiting Baron or forcing Barons? Like, how do you judge when your team's strong enough to force a fight or strong enough to like kind of bait them in?
It's mostly you look at the AD carry and how tanky the AP carry is, or if he's a burst one, he can burst one or not. And like, and looking at the summoners of Kennen, he can't usually just like full on engage because he has ghost, not flash. So he needs to be really careful to not get ultied and get bursted by Gragas.
Right. And sorry. I kind of want to talk about that oracles because you mentioned it. Do you ever typically buy in early oracles, or solo queue versus team games, or when do you decide to pick up an oracle?
On solo queue, I usually get it in like really tanky ones that has GP5, but mostly on Riven, no, I don't.
Okay, and we actually just saw them engage here a little bit. You saw Sona pop her ulti, and you guys are going to start pushing them back. And can you kind of go over that? Like, Sona's ultimate's down, and you guys are like, set up, because that's pretty much their main initiate, or main
Yeah, and
CC.
now we're just killing Baron and trying to bait them out, and then here what we see Westrise just like pushing, and I think we kill him here. Oh, and our AD almost died too. I don't know even why Greaves wasn't here for their team. Now we're just trying to get the towers. Like this one, it's better to just get towers.
Yeah, it's actually kind of a lot of things or a lot of people try to decide between, hey, when do we go for towers and when do we go for Baron, and when do you kind of decide when to switch it up or which one to go for? Like, what kind of situations like show you what to do or like give
It's
way?
usually depends on their pushing power, and then their turtle ability. Like if they have a Nivea, it's better to either catch him and just like kill him, or just do or bait them Baron. Because like Anivia is like a really strong turtling champion, because he can just stay there and just ult. And here
Yeah,
I
full
said
fair way.
Baron because their Gragas just died, and then Gragas is like all their AP.
Right, and Sona's ult still should be down from the engage earlier as well. So it's actually a really smart call. And can you kind of go over the difference in jungling between solo queue and team games? Like, how does it differ, and like, what kind of things you need to focus on in each kind of competition or each division thing?
Solo queue, I try to stray away from like team fight jungles like a Mumu and stuff, because in solo queue you can't really rely on your team. Like you need to have like a gangling jungler, or the one that can just snowball. It's mostly the same.
And actually, speaking of tanky junglers, can you kind of go over the types of junglers there are? Because there's like aggressive gankers, there's aggressive counter junglers, etc.
Well, there's like early junglers, and uh like Alistar can be, he's like really good in in the early game, and he can be really good late game too if you build the right items for it. Lee Sin is too. He kind of falls off late game, but he's a really good dragon control champion. Like you can do dragon easily with him. You can even sneak dragons with Lee Sin. And Riven is really good too. He's mostly a top lane ganker because he has so much mobility. And Nautilus is really good too. If you kill one with the Nautilus, it's like you can snowball the game immediately.
Yeah, it seems you
And
like playing a lot of snowball junglers.
yeah, and like junglers like Trundle, Sedge,
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
Mumu.
whoa, whoa! You can't consider Sejuani a jungler. She's nothing. She doesn't have a role.
Uh, like I played Sedge in tourney games, and we won. Like I think I've only lost one tourney game from Sedge, and like because I think they buffed him last two patches, and she's kind of okay now. She's like a mobile Amumu, like she can just ult away, and it's like a Mumu ult, a better Mumu ult actually, because it stuns.
And not to mention, well, the skill shot is a little harder to land on it than a Mumu's, unfortunately for that.
But it's really far too,
Yeah,
so
it's true. You don't have to be like, you don't have to flash in to hit him with it. You can kind of do it from range.
yeah.
And can you kind of go over what you guys are doing right now? I mean, you have a Clog on your team, so I'm assuming, sieging towers is one thing you really want to do and keep in mind.
Yeah, but we're trying to like be really careful because they have a Gragas. They can just uh like disengage the team and then just pull one in their team. And now I'm trying to tank the tower, telling Kog'Maw to attack because the other lanes are pushing. And then I don't know what Westrise was doing there, but he was just so far away from the team. Like that's not the thing that you should do to just like if you don't look at your team. Then I think we took the game here, I think. Because everyone was so far away at each other.
Yeah, if you guys actually do finish up the game right here, you kill Graves here for move, and then you
Yeah.
take the rest of it. But we'll kind of tell a little bit about yourself in like terms of shout outs or anything you want to let people know.
Well, for the fans that we have, like we're really thankful that you're still following us. Make sure to watch MLG and other tournaments that we're gonna be. And I think NESL Pro Series. I think we don't have a game anymore. I think we finished all NESL, but we thank you for all the support. And yeah, like try to follow us at Facebook when Atlanta changes the name to MTW. It's still a picture of a goose right now. So
Yeah, there'll be links for all that in the video, and definitely make sure to watch my LG. Hopefully they can put on quite a good show. I'm really hoping to see some good things come out of them, and definitely check out their stream as well. They haven't done it as often lately, but when they do, it is fun. Always fun to watch. Anything else real quick before you want to end the episode?
yeah, and we're making MTW is making a website that we're gonna have a guides in there, like uh, most of like jungle guides, like 4 minute dragon guides, AP mid by Mancloud, and AD how to play AD carry on Lana.
Well, I appreciate you being on the show. Everyone should definitely go check out that website when it does come up, and I will put up a link to that when it does come out, hopefully in the near future. Thanks again for being on the show, and
No problem.
thanks again for everyone watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.